Hello and welcome. I'm Rik Glauert, and here's what happened this week. Taiwan's military conducted 3 days of exercises designed to keep the military alert before the Lunar New Year. This included the Navy practicing how to defend the country's maritime border. Jaime Ocon brings us this report from southern Taiwan.
I'm here in Kaohsiung, which is home to Taiwan's largest naval base, for the final parts of military exercises ahead of the Lunar New Year. The Navy is letting us hop on aboard some of their ships to see how they're training to protect the country's maritime borders. Military personnel here are conducting a simulation of how they would respond to a suspicious vessel heading towards Taiwan in an attempt to breach the country's maritime border. What they're doing is dispatching teams of 2 corvettes armed with anti-ship missiles in less than 30 minutes to practice real combat maneuvers.
面对中共不间断的灰色地带袭扰，我们会持续强化平战结合的训练，我们会全力以赴捍卫海疆的安全。
Also on display are rare underwater operations, where divers practice recovering equipment and fixing critical infrastructure to keep their ships at sea as long as possible. Last year, Taiwan reported the highest number of Chinese Coast Guard and naval ships operating around the country as China conducted 3 large-scale military exercises. That's why in recent years, Taiwan has invested heavily into its domestic shipbuilding industry to ease reliance on the U.S., which is Taiwan's largest provider of weapons. All the ships taking part in this drill have been made in Taiwan, with the newest vessel, the Dawu, commissioned and put into service just 3 months ago.
我们也借由大武舰的性能展示，以及水下作业大队的演练，具体展现了国舰国造的成效，以及我海军水下作业的能量。
With a range of maritime threats around Taiwan, the Navy says that the most important thing is to cooperate with other branches of the military to get a complete picture of what's happening around the country. This will be even more pertinent when there's an uptick in travel ahead of the Lunar New Year, as many people go for their long holiday. Fu Hua Hong and Jaime Ocon in Kaohsiung for TaiwanPlus.
A former military officer and leader of a small political party has been charged with spying for China. As Chelsea Wu reports, the specific allegations are raising concerns among many in Taiwan.
A retired military officer, singing the patriotic song of Taiwan's military academy. But this veteran, Chu Hongyi, has been indicted along with 6 others. The charges they face: colluding with members of China's military to plan attacks inside Taiwan, potentially including the unofficial U.S. embassy. It's one of several cases of active and retired military personnel in Taiwan being accused of espionage for China.
这个部门的理解是我们没有现役军人涉案，但是就国防部立场啊，我们还是要对这些被吸收的退役军人要予以严厉的谴责，即使是备役的这些军人或者是退役之后呢，还是要对国家负有忠诚的义务。
Chu is accused of receiving more than $91,000 US to gather intelligence and recruit others to carry out attacks on Taiwan's military and political leaders in conjunction with the Chinese invasion. Chu and others allegedly gathered photos and other intelligence on military bases in southern Taiwan's Pingdong County, Alishan in the country center, and even the unofficial U.S. embassy in Taipei, known as the American Institute in Taiwan, or AIT. Chu may not be the first military veteran to be accused of spying for China, but the alleged planning of armed attacks, not only against Taiwanese targets, but potentially even American ones, is just one of the factors that makes this particular case so unique. Chu's case is also unique because of his political activities. He established a small political party in 2023. The Interior Ministry says it may now be dissolved under a law banning parties that pose national security threats. While no member of Chu's party has ever held office, his background in both the military and politics has lawmakers on both sides of the aisle concerned.
中共持续对我退役军人里面来渗透，本席非常的谴责，且这种动作对两岸的和平是不利的。
中国渗透一定会有中间人，除了退役的将领，还会有谁呢？最重要的就是我们的立法委员，可以见到中国的官员，又可以接触国家的机密，又可以接触到一般的人民，做选民服务嘛。所以对中国来讲，立法委员是完美的中间人。
Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council has said if the allegations are true, the veterans involved will lose their pensions. With an increasing number of espionage cases involving Taiwan's veterans, there is growing unease that some individuals who once dedicated their careers to defending the nation might now pose a threat to its security. Klein Wang, Rik Glauert, and Chelsea Wu for TaiwanPlus.
Partisan tension is threatening to boil over in the legislature, with the ruling Democratic Progressive Party and the main opposition party, the Kuomintang, threatening mass recall campaigns against each other. Amid the bitterness, one lawmaker has even suggested dissolving the whole chamber. John Van Trieste reports.
A new year has started with the legislature in an uproar. Though the partisan divide has always been bitter, rancor over controversial recent amendments now has the two biggest parties threatening each other with a political showdown. Over the weekend, Democratic Progressive Party whip Ke Jianming threw down the gauntlet with a call to wipe out much of the rival Kuomintang's caucus through a nationwide mass recall campaign.
我们要双罢。第一个要罢免曾副院长，第二个要罢免国民党41个区域立委。
That would mean the ousting of every Kuomintang district lawmaker elected last year, decimating the caucus from the biggest in the chamber to a tiny 13-seat minority. Ke has justified the move by saying the Kuomintang has pushed through bills that are either unconstitutional or put Taiwan's interests at risk. Though there aren't yet any concrete plans to carry out this threat, the Kuomintang already says it accepts the challenge and may retaliate with a recall campaign of its own.
面对民进党来势汹汹的大罢免潮，我们一定会正面迎战。在一些区域里面，也会针对民进党的立委都有可能成为罢免的对象。
But the rhetoric hasn't stopped there. One of the most divisive of the recent bills, one that would set new rules on the Constitutional Court's ability to hear or rule on cases, is up for a revote, and the Kuomintang is likely to get it passed a second time. To prevent this, the Democratic Progressive Party's whip wants a referendum on dissolving the whole chamber. Legal experts say that's not actually possible under current laws.
所以呢，如果要用公投方式的解散国会，基本上来讲，唯一一个可能性就是修宪。
But even if all of it, from threats of recall campaigns to threats to dissolve the chamber, is just political bluster, it is an escalation. And just days after DPP President Lai Ching-te said he wanted to bridge the political divide between the parties. If this latest escalation is any indicator, it could be another turbulent year ahead for Taiwanese politics in 2025. Klein Wang and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus News.
The largest tech show in the world, the Consumer Electronics Show, is wrapping up in Las Vegas. And while many of the products on display rely on Taiwanese hardware giants like TSMC, smaller companies from Taiwan are also going to Las Vegas to show how practical AI can be. Rik Glauert reports.
What if you woke up in the morning and a mirror could tell you if you were having a heart attack? What if instead of going out and mowing the lawn, an army of robots could do it for you? What if you could use artificial intelligence to help you become a better athlete? Some innovators from Taiwan are looking to answer these questions with new product launches at the world's largest tech trade fair, the Consumer Electronics Show, or CES, in Las Vegas.
Taiwan may best be known for its chips that are fueling the AI explosion.
But some smaller companies and research groups here are also going to this year's CES to show how they're using AI technologies in practical ways that can be seen in everyday life. One of those exhibitors is FaceHeart, a medical AI company that is releasing its first major piece of hardware, a smart mirror. Using a hidden camera and proprietary AI software, a scan of your face can pick up several of your cardiac vital signs. It's one example of what the company says will be the expanding use of household devices for medical care.
This is actually pretty exciting because when people are thinking of hypertension, they are thinking of diabetes, they have to buy a lot of expensive medical devices. But what if it can be all done by your smartphones? It can all be done by your TV. Then people can reduce the cost to reach health services, and they can have better control of their chronic disease.
Operation is simple. Enter some personal information and stand still for 45 seconds. All right, Doc, give it to me straight. How long have I got to live? Aside from vital signs, FaceHeart says their mirror can detect potentially life-threatening conditions like atrial fibrillation, also known as AFib, and heart failure with over 90% accuracy. AI may be able to monitor your heart in your bathroom. But who's monitoring the lawn out in your yard? It could be these autonomous lawnmower robots from URS Robot. Using a combination of cameras, sensors, and AI software, the company says their new model, making its debut at CES, can be used to cut large areas of grass easily and safely.
This product is major designed for the commercial landscaping company. So like the commercial property, school, golf course, or some parks.
The system uses a digital marker to draw the cutting area, which can then be refined or changed on a smartphone app. Set your cut height, and up to 10 robots can be dispatched to dispatch your grass. The robot can detect objects in its path and avoid them. Or if smaller objects, such as rocks or hands, get underneath it, it can instantly stop the motor. So will these grass slicers put gardeners out of business?
We are here to help you have better life, easy job. You don't worry about they take the mowing job from you. You can do some other more valuable tasks, like you can trim the bushes or you can make the flower bed. Boring things, you just let robotic mower to take care.
Now you've got your green, but what about your swing? Well, when it comes to badminton at least, Taiwan's Industrial Technology Research Institute, or ITRI, is working on that. It's debuting a new AI badminton trainer at CES. The device uses miniaturized cameras and a specially designed chip package to analyze players' movements, giving detailed data to those who need the extra edge.
I think there's a lot of use cases for this. There's just a lot of things that to the naked eye as a human, you can't really get exact details for. So for example, shuttle speed, right? We can kind of tell that we're hitting it hard or fast, but we'll never be able to know exactly that miles per hour that we're getting. I'm now able to know exactly which combination of strings and racket and tensions might perhaps generate, the fastest smash for me.
Professional athletes like Shu say it's only a matter of time before this kind of training tech comes to other sports as well. So whether it's your heart, your yard, or your game, Taiwan's innovators at CES are trying to show that their innovations are a cut above the rest. Luffy Lee and Rik Glauert for TaiwanPlus.
The southeast of Taiwan is home to a special style of religious performance the locals hope will soon be granted special heritage status. John Van Trieste takes a look.
The religious dance, Bajiajiang, is an art form that's been evolving in Taiwan for centuries. And here in the southeastern county of Taidong, there's a local twist on the tradition, now 67 years old, whose performers are hoping will get special recognition. The tight symbolic formations and elaborate costumes are much the same as those you can see elsewhere, but here the typical 8 performers, representing heavenly generals, are increased to 13. Those who know the local Zhongho Temple's troupe see notable differences in style too.
我们的脚步跟脸谱始终是保持着我们从东港过来的时候的一些传承不曾改变。
But while it's appreciated as a staple of temple events, Bajiajiang as a whole has an image problem, a stereotype that troops attract rough characters like delinquents and gangsters. And so this local variant is eager to stand apart. It's applying to the county government for inclusion on the local intangible heritage list.
它蛮特别的是，它是以石家将这种画脸着装出军的一个过程当中做一个登录。
University students from the area are helping spread the word with a series of promotional merchandise. The hope is to get this art form formally recognized by the end of the year, joining it to a list of other religious rituals that make this corner of Taiwan culturally distinct. Chris Ma and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching Here's What Happened. I'm Rik Glauert. Take care and we will see you next week.